You are what you eat. That is true. But do you know why? Well, everything in this world has a vibration to it. You, me, the grass, the sun, everything. Now, whatever you eat and whatever you put in your body, you are getting the vibration from that and putting it in your body. Makes a lot of sense, right? Well, so you think, okay, I just eat real food instead of processed food. You've heard that. All these diets are telling you just eat good food, wholesome food, and you're good. But that's still not necessarily true. So you think about when you say that you are vibrating a high frequency. That means you're high on life, you're happy. Higher vibrations bring you higher up. Lower vibrations bring you down. Negative energies bring you down. Well, the same thing goes with food. So think about this. You want to elevate yourself. Eat foods that'll elevate you. What elevates you? Think about where food grows. Okay, what grows up high in the sky? Fruits. They're up in trees. Okay. Something that actually I want you to take a look at here real quick is this pyramid. We think of our food pyramid, and it just tells you to eat a certain amount of grains and meats and dairy and all that stuff. This is probably your best food pyramid that you could look at. So it's showing things at the top like wheatgrass and seaweed. Why? Because that absorbs so much energy from the sun, so it has a lot of energy in it. Then you go down to your fruits, then you go down to your vegetables, then you go down to root vegetables. Root vegetables go under the ground. Then you go down to your meats, your fish, and then you go down to your junk food. Makes a lot of sense. So if you kind of apply that, if you were to look at the actual frequency of food, I actually looked this up online because I was really kind of interested in it. The frequency of food, you want a higher frequency, eat those higher frequency foods. So your fruits have a very high frequency to them, so it's going to give a high frequency to your body. You want healing foods? Eat fruits. I know that there was one time I went to a Dr. Joe Dispenza event, and I had such an intense meditation. And after that, I had trouble bringing my energy back to my body. And because of that, my body was craving meat and potatoes. It was like it wanted me, ground me. So think about that. Foods that ground you are things that grow closer to the ground, things that elevate you. Maybe you want to meditate better. You want to manifest things better. You just want to be closer to God. Eat fruits that are going to raise your frequency. Now, you may think, okay, well, fruits most of the time you eat raw, right? Okay, so what about vegetables? They're a little bit below the fruits, and a lot of times you will want to cook them. Some people don't like raw vegetables, but when you cook them, you actually lower their vibration. Most food is meant to be eaten raw, except for like things like potatoes and maybe a couple other things. But most food should be eaten raw because you're going to lower that vibration. And the best way to eat your fruits and vegetables is as soon as it's picked. You can see I've got my garden behind me, and I love to just come down in my garden and eat something. I can come and I can eat a piece of kale out of the garden, and I just feel like my head just like lightens up. You ever feel that way after a meal? You just eat and you're like, wow, I just feel so light. And other meals you're like, oh, you're so heavy. And it's because you're eating the vibrations of the food. You eat heavy foods, it's going to bring your vibration down, and it's going to take more of your energy out of you to digest those foods. You eat fruits, it's not going to be that hard for you to digest food. You eat vegetables, not so hard. You eat cooked vegetables, your body has to put forth a little more energy to digest those. Eat meat, takes a lot of energy. Root vegetables, junk food. We all know that, but it's hard, okay? We all know junk food is bad for us, but it's really going to lower your vibration. So you eat things fresh right out of the garden, that's best, but all of us can't do that, obviously. I would go to the farmer's market if you can and get food from there. If you get it from the grocery store, that's okay. You know, I mean, that's what most of us do. But you also need to think about, I don't know if you guys have ever heard about how water holds memory. So water holds memory. So when we drink water from our faucet, it's actually been put through a lot of stress, going through the chemicals and all this stuff that puts through it. And it's going through these twists and turns and kinks in the pipes, and it's really kind of stressing the water out. So I always bless my water, or I try to remember to bless my water before I drink it, because I want it to be happy. They've done experiments where they talk to the water and they say nice things to it, and it shows the water molecules actually changing so they are better looking. And then they have water where they're mad at it and they yell at it, and the molecules are just like, you know, they're stressed looking. The same goes with our food and with our own bodies. You're eating food right from the garden. Like this garden right here, I'm sure it's got a lot of love to it because me and my kids, we help to tend to it and we appreciate our food, and our food is probably happy. Other food, what has it been through? It's been cut by a machine, you know, and it's been tossed in a truck and then put through diesel trucks. You don't want to say, oh, my food is not stressed. How could it be stressed? It doesn't have feelings. But it kind of does, okay? Think about this. If you eat meat, I'm not telling you to go vegan because of this, but some people go vegan for whatever reasons. But the meat that you eat, you could eat grass-fed beef from your neighbor's cow and it tastes so much better. Or you could eat grass-fed beef from the store and something's a little different. Why? Well, I think that there was a lot more love put into that cow that's grown down the street from you than the one that, even though it might have been grass-fed, it was hauled into a truck and put into the slaughterhouse, and it was put through a lot of stress probably right before its death. And so that stress is still in the water, which is within those cells of that animal. So you are what you eat. You're eating meat that's been stressed out. It's going to bring that stress to your body. You eat fruits and vegetables that were just grown naturally and not put under a lot of stress, then you're going to feel that in your body. Now, we can't help it. Most of us do shop at the grocery store. So what can you do to help that? Well, while you're shopping, be thankful for your food. Be thankful for your food. There's a reason that people for many years have been thankful for their food and blessed it. It's not just to thank God for it. Yes, that is great to be thankful for the food you have before you, but you also are sending it good vibrations, good energy, because you want that food. If it was stressed out, you want to relax it. It sounds crazy, but you want to relax your food so then when you consume it, it's relaxing and you're consuming that better energy instead of that negative energy. And now, why would we want to put better energy in our body? Well, if we don't put our body through a lot of stress to digest the food, then we have more energy inside of us to do whatever we want. We have more energy throughout our day. You know, you have a heavy meal and you just feel like sitting on the couch and doing a whole lot of nothing, or you're not productive and you need that extra cup of coffee in the middle of the day to just kind of lift yourself up. And so you want to be raising your vibration to not use up all your energy so you can go and do things like heal or just be more active and productive in your day. I mean, that's a big thing, just to be healthy. A lot of people just say we deteriorate throughout our lives. Well, why? We put our body through a lot of stress, not just physical stress and emotional stress, but our food. Our food stresses our body. So you are what you eat. Think about this too. Energy is never created or destroyed. It's only transferred. So why do we eat? Well, to get energy. And so if you are trying to fuel up, you wouldn't go to the gas station and fill up your car full of milk, because that is not the right energy for your car. It wouldn't run right. It would be all, you know. Same thing. We want to transfer good energy to our body. If we transfer bad energy to our body, then it stresses us out, and our body's having to work hard to try to process it. And in that process, it wears our body down because it takes extra energy to get rid of that negative energy, or the energy that, you know, that's just getting into your body from that. So I want you to take a look at this real quick. You know, I said that cooking food can take away the energy. This is a special photography that they use to show the energy field around this food, and they're showing what the food looked like before, when it was raw, and after it was cooked. So you can imagine too, if you first picked it fresh and ate it, how much better it could be. And so you're not consuming a lot of energy. You know, they talk about empty calories, eating potato chips and bread and different things like that. It's been so processed, there's no energy left in it. Why do we just sit there and be couch potatoes? And what do we eat? We eat things like popcorn and chips and just different things that are just empty calories. And so we keep feeding ourselves because it's not giving us any energy. We're not getting what our body needs. You're feeding it nothing, really. So feed it energy. I know there was a time that, you know, when I was very unhealthy and for a meal I'd have a piece of kale and a carrot, but I was full. I was like, why am I full? It's because I didn't need to fill my stomach. That's what we kind of think. We have to be full. We have to eat certain portions. It's because I consumed all the energy that my body was asking for and I was good to go. So that's another thing, is that if you actually start eating raw foods and you eat better foods and you eat knowing that you're just eating to get the energy you need, then you'll probably eat a lot less. Your grocery bill will go down. You won't stress so much. you know, and then you probably lose weight along the way there too, you know, and you'll feel better. So many people go on to these special paleo diets or whatever they're on, and they're like, man, I feel so much better. It's because they've cut the crap out of their diet, you know, and they're eating more whole foods. That's the biggest thing, is eating whole foods. You know, if you don't want to eat raw vegetables, that's okay. But just know that you might have to consume a little bit more, and it might take a little bit more out of your body to try to digest it. So I know it may be hard for some of you guys to tend to a big garden, but you can do small things. Even if you live in an apartment in the city, you can just get some herbs, a little strawberry plant or something, and put it on your counter and go and just snack on it. I love doing that in my garden, just going throughout the day and just grabbing something out of the garden and snacking on it. And it makes me feel refreshed. So just little steps like that can help raise your energy, raise your vibration. If you want to have a good meditation, I know when I go to meditation retreats, I like to eat a lot of fruit. Now, I don't know why. I think I just crave a lot of fruit, and maybe it's because my body's saying, hey, you know, listen, you should eat a lot of this. It'll raise your vibration and make you more up in your head and more spiritual than if you were to eat a bunch of grounding food. You don't want to be grounded when you're meditating. You want to be uplifted. So just, you are what you eat. And eat mindfully. If your body is asking you for certain foods, listen to why. Is it craving junk food? Why? Why is it saying that? Is it out of a habit? Is it because it's maybe your old self? Just listen to see why your body's craving that. You know how sometimes you're just like, man, I really want an apple. Eat an apple. If you're craving meat, eat meat. It's okay to eat meat, you know. It just, your body's asking for certain things, certain minerals. It wants a certain vibration. Just listen to your body. And the more you start to listen to your body, the better you'll eat. And a last thing to do too is, if you want to test foods to see what you should eat, I like to use muscle testing. Some of you might use pendulums or something. And if you haven't heard of muscle testing, I've created some videos a while ago on the YouTube channel here. You can watch those, but the muscle testing will tell you whether or not something will resonate right with you. And you can muscle test to see whether or not a food is good for you. I used to do that for a while. I would pick up something and see if I should eat it or not. So if you're craving a junk food, it's okay to eat junk food every once in a while, but don't eat it every single day. Don't eat sugar every day. Don't eat just empty calories from bags of chips and stuff. If you're craving that stuff, why? Is it stress? The stress, you're at a lower vibration, so you're wanting that low vibration just to keep you down there on the ground. Try to fight some of those urges if you can, but it's okay to give into them. You know, you're not, it's just like some of these people on the diets. It's like they feel like they have to be so strict on the diet. If they cheat, they're just going to screw up and they're going to gain all the weight back or something. No, you are giving yourself limited beliefs because of that. And then maybe you are gaining weight back because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to gain weight because I'm eating this. You know, you are what you eat, you are what you think. So my little advice there on you are what you eat. Any advice or any comments or tips or any information that you may know about this topic, just share it with me. I'd love to hear you. Thank you.